What if I told you that a single picture in your mind could quietly start changing the direction of your life? Not some complicated ritual, not years of waiting, but the ability to see with your inner eye so vividly that reality begins to shift around you. Think about it. Everything you see in this world, the houses, the cities, the songs, even the phone you're holding right now was once just an image in someone's mind. At first it was nothing more than imagination, and yet by holding that vision close, they gave it power until it took form in the physical world. That is the real secret behind visualization. And it isn't about wishful thinking or forcing the universe to bend to your will. It's about learning to create a mental picture, so alive that your mind and body respond as if it's already happening. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the version of you that you've always wanted to become. Maybe you see yourself living in a beautiful home, filled with light and peace. Maybe you're walking across a stage, people clapping, your heart racing with pride. Maybe you see yourself healthier, stronger, more confident than you've ever been. Whatever it is, notice what your body does as you imagine it. Your breath changes. Your chest feels different. You might even smile without meaning to. That tiny shift in your emotions is the beginning of manifestation. It is your nervous system responding to an inner reality, as though it were already true. The problem is that most people stop here. They picture what they want once or twice. Then they go back to living the same routine and wonder why nothing changes. The truth is that visualization isn't a game you play one time and forget. It's a practice, like watering a seed in the soil. One watering won't grow a tree, but if you return to it day after day, something unseen begins to move beneath the surface. That's why so many people fail. They mistake visualization for a wish instead of treating it as a living practice. Think of a time in your life when you wanted something so badly you couldn't stop imagining it. Maybe it was a new job, or passing an exam, or even meeting someone you admired. You thought about it so much that you could almost feel it before it happened. And then, one day the opportunity came, almost as if it had been waiting for you. That wasn't an accident. That was the result of your mind preparing your body and your actions for the moment. Visualization works the same way, but with more intention. The clearer and more emotional the picture, the faster your subconscious begins to shape your behavior to align with it. Now let's get honest. Why do we struggle to believe in this? Because when we open our eyes, reality looks the same. We see bills on the table, deadlines at work, arguments in the house. It feels almost silly to imagine something greater when the world around us screams otherwise. But here's the hidden truth. Reality itself doesn't change until you do. If you only wait for proof, you'll wait forever. The proof comes after the practice, not before. Athletes know this. Musicians know this. Surgeons, speakers, creators of every kind know this. They see it before it's real. They rehearse it in the privacy of their minds until their bodies can no longer tell the difference. Then, when the moment arrives, they're already living inside a familiar reality. I want you to notice something important here. Visualization is not just about seeing, it's about feeling. If you picture yourself with $1 million but you feel fear, doubt, or lack, then you're not really aligning with that vision. You're rehearsing scarcity, not abundance. But if you picture yourself in that same scenario and allow joy, gratitude, and confidence to flood your body, then you're teaching your nervous system to accept that outcome as natural. The body becomes a magnet for the state of mind it rehearses. That is why emotions are the fuel of visualization. Without them, your images are empty. With them, they are unstoppable. Imagine someone who has never learned this. They sit in frustration, waiting for life to change, complaining about circumstances, thinking luck belongs to others. They never realize that the true canvas of their reality was always inside them. Then imagine you, the one listening, right now, who decides to take this seriously. You wake each morning, you close your eyes, and you begin to step into your vision. You practice not just the picture, but the emotion. Day after day, your body memorizes the state of your future. Slowly, opportunities begin to appear. People start responding differently. You notice doors where before there were only walls. To the outside world, it looks like luck. To you, it feels inevitable, because you rehearsed it until your nervous system made it real. Do not underestimate the power of a single image. Scientists have shown that when you visualize lifting a weight, your brain fires the same neurons as if you were actually lifting it. When you visualize playing an instrument, the same motor pathways light up as though your fingers were really moving. Your mind cannot tell the difference between what is imagined and what is lived, as long as the imagination is vivid enough. This is the doorway. This is where creation begins. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. So here's the question I leave with you. Are you willing to spend just a few minutes each day, training your mind to experience the reality you want before it arrives? Because if you are, then you'll discover something miraculous. Visualization is not about pretending. It's about preparing. It's about tuning your inner world so clearly that the outer world has no choice but to follow. The moment you realize this, the moment you give your heart permission to believe, everything changes. The seed is already planted. The rest depends on whether you choose to water it. Now that you understand the seed of visualization, let's talk about how to make it bloom into something so real in your mind that it can't help but spill into your life. Most people keep their visions vague. They say, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy, but their minds don't know what that really means. The subconscious needs detail, just like a painter needs colors and brushes. Before the masterpiece can appear on the canvas, without detail, the picture stays fuzzy. With detail, it begins to breathe. Imagine you're standing in front of a blank wall. If I asked you to describe the life you want, could you paint it on that wall? Could you describe the morning light, the smell of your coffee, the sound of the place you wake up in? Could you describe the way your body feels, strong, energized, and light? Could you describe the conversations you have, the way people treat you, the joy in your chest as you live each day? The more you practice adding layers to this vision, the more your nervous system locks it in. That's the first secret: clarity. Vague dreams don't move mountains, but clear ones can move the world. Now let's go deeper. Visualization isn't only about what you see. It's about what you feel, hear, taste, and sense in every way possible. If you want to change your life, you must involve the whole body. For example, if your dream is to have your own business, don't just picture the office or the logo. Feel the weight of the door handle as you open your office in the morning. Hear the sound of people talking excitedly as they work with you. Smell the fresh coffee brewing in the corner. Feel the pride in your chest as you look at what you've built. When you bring all your senses into the picture, your subconscious begins to accept it as real. And once your subconscious accepts it, your behavior begins to shift automatically in ways you cannot always explain. Think of an athlete before a competition. Long before they step onto the field, they have already run the race in their mind 100 times. They've felt the sweat on their skin, the roar of the crowd, the weight of victory in their hands. By the time the moment arrives, their body knows exactly what to do. That's why visualization is not a luxury. It is training. You are training your future self in advance, so that when life presents the opportunity, you don't freeze, you don't doubt, you simply step into what feels natural. Here's something most people miss. Emotion is the bridge. If you visualize with no feeling, it's like drawing in the sand where the waves will wash it away. But when you add emotion, it's like carving your vision into stone. Your nervous system records it. Joy, gratitude, pride, excitement. These feelings act like glue. They lock the image in place and signal your brain that this is important. Without emotion, visualization is only daydreaming. With emotion, it becomes creation. Take a moment and remember the happiest day of your life so far. Notice how quickly the memory comes back with colors, sounds, maybe even scents. That's because the emotion burned it into your memory. Now imagine if you could do the same thing with your future. Every time you rehearse your vision with strong emotion, you are teaching your mind that it has already lived this. The body doesn't argue. It doesn't say, this is fake. It simply reacts, and over time, it prepares you to act, to speak, and to move in alignment with that inner world. But there's another layer you need: consistency. Imagine going to the gym once and expecting to be fit for life. Impossible. Visualization works the same way. It is daily training for your mind. 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes before bed can reshape the way your brain wires itself. Neuroscience has proven that repeated mental rehearsal strengthens neural pathways, just like physical practice does. This is why musicians practice scales in their mind, why pilots rehearse flights before ever leaving the ground, why leaders visualize speeches until they can give them without a script. You can do the same with the life you want. Don't wait for chance. Rehearse it until it feels like home. Now picture this. Every morning, instead of checking your phone and filling your mind with chaos, you sit quietly for a few minutes. You close your eyes, you breathe, and you step into the world you are creating. You see it clearly. You feel it deeply. You smile as though it is already yours. Then you go about your day. You may not notice change right away, but slowly, your choices shift. You walk with more confidence. You speak with more certainty. You recognize opportunities you would have ignored before. And as weeks pass, the outer world starts rearranging to match your inner picture. That's not magic. That's alignment. There is one more truth you must hold on to. Visualization alone won't replace action. If you only sit and imagine but never move, the dream remains inside your head. But visualization makes action easier. It makes courage natural. It makes discipline less heavy. Why? Because when you've lived it in your mind 100 times, the real moment no longer feels terrifying. It feels familiar. That's the gift of this practice. It doesn't just inspire you, it prepares you. So ask yourself right now, are you willing to rehearse the future instead of replaying the past? Because most people do the opposite. They close their eyes and repeat yesterday's worries, yesterday's failures, yesterday's pain. They don't realize they're visualizing all the time. But the images they choose are building fear instead of freedom. You can break that cycle. You can choose, starting today, to feed your mind with a vision worth living for. Your brain is always creating. The question is, what picture are you giving it? The door is open. You already hold the brush. The canvas is waiting. And every moment you choose to step into your vision, you are writing the future one detail at a time. Remember this. Your inner rehearsal becomes your outer reality. The only thing left is to decide whether you will keep rehearsing the life you already know or begin painting the life you truly desire. By now, you've planted the seed and given it color, movement, and emotion. But the final step is where dreams begin to feel inevitable. This is where visualization becomes not just imagination, but preparation, training your body, your mind, and your spirit to act in harmony with your vision. Imagine the feeling of walking through your day as if your goals are already real. You move differently. You speak differently. The energy around you shifts because you are aligned with something greater than the ordinary flow of life. This is not luck. This is intention in action. Picture yourself approaching a challenge. Before, you might have hesitated, doubted, or hesitated again. Now, because you've lived it in your mind, your hands know what to do. Your voice knows what to say. Your mind stays calm. Visualization has already prepared you. Your body remembers what success feels like. Every decision you make subtly aligns with the path you've rehearsed. The universe doesn't create obstacles for you. It mirrors the state of your inner world. When you are in the flow of your vision, opportunities rise, coincidences multiply, and life seems to move in your favor. This is not magic. It is the natural response of a mind and body, trained in harmony with your deepest desires. Think of a time you achieved something you never thought possible. Maybe it was finishing a project, learning a skill, or having a difficult conversation go well. That success didn't happen by accident. You had practiced in your head. Imagine the steps, anticipated challenges, and rehearsed solutions. You already have the evidence that mental rehearsal works. Now, imagine applying the same process to your biggest dreams, the ones that make your heart beat faster when you think about them. The difference now is consistency. The difference now is depth. The difference now is living in that reality in your mind, so fully that it can no longer be denied by the outside world. But here's the truth many forget. Visualization is a dialogue. It's not enough to see the outcome and then go back to old habits. You must pay attention to how your mind reacts. Do doubts arise? Do fears creep in? That is when you pause, breathe, and return to the image with more clarity and more emotion. Each time you do this, you strengthen your neural pathways and reinforce the state of your future self. You are literally training your brain to operate from possibility instead of limitation. Over time, your thoughts, feelings, and actions begin to converge, and suddenly, what once seemed impossible starts to appear as natural as breathing. Now let's bring it even closer to home. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, opening your eyes, and seeing small signs that your vision is coming true. A phone call you expected, a message that inspires you, an unexpected opportunity knocking at your door. Your life is quietly shifting because your inner rehearsal is guiding your outer actions. People notice it in you even if they can't explain why. Your confidence, your joy, your clarity, they all radiate. You're no longer chasing the dream. The dream is catching up to you. This is the real power of visualization. It is not about wishing. It is about creating the conditions for what you imagine to become inevitable. As you move through your day, keep the image alive. When challenges appear, don't panic. Picture yourself overcoming them with calm, wisdom, and grace. When opportunities arise, imagine yourself seizing them with ease. Every small rehearsal, every fleeting moment spent in your inner world, compounds into a life that feels preordained, as if the universe has been quietly waiting for you to step into it. You are no longer a passive observer. You are an active participant, co-creating reality from the inside out. This is the art and science of making things show up in your life. Before we finish, I want you to notice something important. Visualization does not replace effort. It multiplies it. It makes your actions intentional and precise. When your body and mind are trained to live in your desired reality, your choices align naturally. You begin to act from a place of power, not fear. You approach problems with creativity instead of stress. You see doors where others see walls. You move like someone who already belongs in the life they imagined. And every single time you return to your vision, you reinforce that reality even further. The seed grows stronger and the fruit becomes inevitable. So here's what I want you to do next. Take a few minutes each day, morning or night, and close your eyes. See the life you want in as much detail as possible. Feel it, smell it, hear it, taste it. Let your body remember what success, joy, and abundance feel like. Repeat this daily, consistently, with emotion and belief, and then take action. Move in the direction your vision suggests, even if the first step feels small. Every action, every thought, every feeling aligned with your vision compounds over time. The life you've imagined is not some distant dream. It is already forming quietly inside you. Now imagine yourself 1 year from today. Your inner rehearsal has become habit. Your actions are aligned. Your body, mind, and spirit all operate from a place of certainty. You look back and realize that what once seemed impossible is now your normal reality. That life, that feeling, that version of you, it was waiting for you all along, and now it is here, because you chose to see it first, feel it fully, and act consistently. That is the power you hold. That is the gift of visualization when practiced with focus, clarity, and emotion. Take this moment seriously. Close your eyes right now after this video, and step into your vision. Feel it, live it, breathe it, and commit to it. Don't wait for the world to change first. Change your inner world and watch everything else follow. Your future self is already waiting. The next chapter of your life begins with the images you create in your mind today. Hold them with care, feel them with intensity, and move with courage. Because when your inner world is fully alive, reality cannot help but catch up. Go ahead, start now. Your future self will thank you.